Guess what we are going to be talking about today? Foundation. Okay, let's say that I've prepped my skin and I've cleaned my skin, and we are going to skip talking about skincare, although if you don't have the right skincare, your foundation is not going to look the way you want it to. I'm going to show you some of my favorites, and I'm going to give you a few tips on choosing your foundation. First things first, facial hair. We all have it. Now you have a choice of keeping it on your face and putting on foundation, or removing it from your face. If you keep it on your face, you've definitely got to choose a foundation that not only matches your skin, but you've got to apply it in the direction the hair is. Otherwise, you're going to see that and you're not going to have a flawless look. I, however, love tweezers, and you need a good pair of tweeters. Okay, you need a good pair of tweezers. Something like this. They do wear out after a while, so you've got to update them. They are expensive. They can be. Drugstore tweezers, fine. These little babies. Look at that. Okay, this I love for a lot of reasons, because there are hairs right here and here that you can't really pluck because they're not coarse. They're very fine. So I want to get rid of them. I just kind of take this and do this. And that's that. So this is a must-have for me. And I like to keep my brows where they're supposed to be. And this helps. And plus it gets rid of some of the dead skin if you have anything left off. I've used a sugar scrub. I've used treatments on my face. I use tea tree oil and glycolic acid like there's no tomorrow. That's glycolic acid. This is tea tree oil. It helps keep the skin evened out. And these products work well for me for just getting rid of fuzzies. And we all have them. So it's your choice. You want to keep your fuzzies and be fuzzy? That's fine. Just make sure you're applying your foundation in the direction the hair is. So don't be going like this with your foundation. And, gravity already pulls us down. So we want to make sure that, we're not doing this too much. But it's up to you. Completely your choice. I have the Morphe foundation. I have Becca is my all-time favorite. I did use Urban Decay for a while. I have used so many foundations, and most of them are epic fails in that bottom drawer that I haven't went through yet. I do not like drugstore foundation. For whatever reason, it does not work well for me. I don't know why. I can try a drugstore tutorial because I haven't done one yet, and I will do that. But right now, I want to talk about shade matching. That's what I want to talk about. Now, every one of you young ladies, I want you to go to either Sephora, Ulta, any place where they have testers and they have someone that can help you. And mind you, not all of them are going to know about shade matching. And they might even be scared because they're not sure of it. Now, people tell you it's got to match your neck. In reality, it's got to match your body. Okay? And there's a way to tell your undertones. Let's talk about that for a second. Look at your veins. Like right now, I'm tan. So I have to switch from a light foundation to a medium to a tan. And then sometimes even to a darker shade. And then if I decide to stop tanning altogether, I have to go back down that list until I get to be white again, like pale. But I usually keep most of my color anyway. But my veins are a bluish color. So without tanning, I am a neutral to cool. And the way to tell in the easiest way is whether or not silver or gold jewelry looks good on you. And I want to show you what I mean by that. I have gold and silver cloth swatches to put around people's necks to be able to tell, because I've been doing makeup for a very long time. It's just changed. That's why I updated my recertification in January. I used to put them around their neck. And if gold, and this helps, honest to God, it helps. If you can wear gold jewelry, you most likely have a warm undertone with possibly some neutral. And if it looks better on you, I don't even know. Let's just try it. Okay, let's just see if we can do this. All right, so now I've got this gold right here. And it works with me because I'm tan. And then I've got silver right here. And I can wear silver for sure. And when I'm not tan, I can wear silver. And gold, it doesn't stand out as much when I'm not tan. So right now, I am a neutral, but more of a warm kind of shade because I'm tan. So I can do neutral to cools or warms right now and get away with it. Neutral to cool, you can do grays, plums, peaches, purples. Well, not peaches. Peaches would be in a warm category. And you also want to look at your eyes. My eyes are considered blue, but they're a bluish gray with a tiny bit of a gold tint in it. So that all helps you determine whether or not you are a warm undertone or a cool undertone. And right now I'm more of a warm undertone, but I can do cools, if that makes sense to you. I do have light brown hair with light colored eyes. Most of the time, if you've got dark eyes and dark hair, you're going to be more on the warm side. And then there are the tones that you don't see very often, like olive skin tone. And you're going to find that in many different ethnicities. So it's important. I want you to go and get shade matched. I want you to have them shade match you with a Revolution foundation, which is like a $12 foundation, and a higher end. And I want you to write it down, okay? I want you to write down what shade matches your skin and what do you feel. And you can also take like, they have those little makeup things there, and you can go ahead and try it on half your face to see. And then, you know, they have makeup wipes, you can take it off, whatever. But I want to show you right now with concealer. It's important to have concealer and foundation for many reasons. There's full coverage, there's light coverage, there's medium coverage. It depends. I love full coverage. I go with full coverage. I want a flawless look. I have like little, these here are kind of like sunspots. I've had them for a long time. And I've got maybe a few up here, but I also have uneven skin tone from time to time. So that's why I use so much skincare. And that's why I use full coverage foundation. Now I've been using Becca Tan foundation, okay? And the Becca Tan foundation, I love Becca. I'm gonna put a little bit on my finger. I can put it down my neck, but in reality, I want it to match my entire body, okay? And in the store, they might match it to your neck. And what you want to see is this going to blend in? And if so, is this the right shade? Now you'll be able to tell that this shade works for me, but my skin is getting darker than this shade. So now it's time for me to up my game and probably move to the next one, which I already have, which is Fawn. That's their color there. This one over here, it's a little darker. But look, it goes into my skin. And kind of disappears. So which one would you use? Would you use this one? Or would you use that one? And to be fair, I'm going to make sure this is blended. I can get away with probably either one because I've got bronzers, but at this point, this one, the Fawn, is matching into my skin tone over the tan. Okay, so now I know that I have to go with, when I do my foundation, a darker color. I want you to begin to shade match. If you are tanning, it's going to be difficult for you, because you're going to need different products as the seasons change anyway. But that's your first step, to figure out your undertone, your vein color, okay? And to get shade matched and find out, and have them write it down for you. Which one, which high-end and which not so high-end foundation, because there are dupes you can find for those colors online as well, but it's important for you to just take this one step and go get shade matched. So that's what I want you to do. that is your homework assignment for this week for Makeup Beginners Series number 1. Because we're talking about foundation and the right foundation match. Now, I'm going to prep my skin and put on some moisturizer, and then we are going to apply foundation, and we're going to talk about that. I'm back. Okay, so now I'm going to put on a little bit of moisturizer, and I'm going to use Laneige Moisture Cream. I'm going to use a tiny bit, not a lot at all. And then I'm going to use a damp beauty blender, not wet, damp, to apply my foundation. And then we're going to talk about concealer. Okay, so I'm going to go in with, that's tan, I want the fawn. And don't, like, you're going to put like that much on here, okay? Or you can put it on your skin. But what you want to do, okay, wow, I totally forgot primer. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh, we need primer. Do you know why we need primer? I'm going to tell you why we need primer. Primer basically is a pore filler. It's a pore filler. It fills in your pores so you can apply an even, flawless application of foundation. And guess what, Karen? You're just not on the ball today. And you know why I'm not on the ball today? Because I'm doing laundry, I'm cooking, I'm waiting for the kids to get home from school, and I'm thinking about you guys. So, here's what I do. I use 2 different primers. I have an oily T-zone area, and then I have the tendency to get a little bit dry. Okay? So, I kind of have combination skin, you would say. And I use the Tarte, what is this? Timeless Smoothing Primer Base. And I use literally that much right here and right there. That is it. That is where my pores are the largest. I just dabbed into it again because I really didn't have much on it at all. Oh my god, I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Sorry. Okay, then I got this in Boxy Luck back in March. This is the Touch in Sol No Problem Primer. I use a tiny bit, and I'm talking about less than, like, that much on the rest of my face. And I mean, the only reason I use so little is because if you use too much primer, it's going to sit on your face instead of doing what it's supposed to do, and then the makeup is going to stick to the primer, and you're going to see some separation, and we don't want that. We do not want it to separate. So you use a little bit with your moisturization, and your skincare is so important because if you do have larger pores, you don't want textured skin. You don't want to see your pores, okay? So moisturizing, usually with an oil at nighttime, really helps. And you can even put aloe if you have it, because aloe will fill in those pores. It's good for your skin, and you'll notice it's going to be softer, and you're going to see less of a dilation with your pores, which just means they're not going to be as large. Okay, so now I'm going to apply my foundation. I do like to put it pretty much everywhere. I don't always put it over my eye, but I have tons of eye primers, so it really doesn't matter at this point if I do that or not. And I don't use a lot, but look how that just kind of, it makes it even. And if I would have kept using the same foundation, it would not have worked. It would have looked like I had foundation on. My skin is getting darker, so obviously, yes, I need to make sure I have the right color foundation. And I am pressing it into the skin, but I'm also mindful of where I have pores that I may need to push it and kind of drag it a little bit. Because your pores are not lovely little nice round perfect holes, basically. They go in different directions. So, and I know that. That's why I'm continuously doing this. Okay, now concealer. You want a concealer that matches your skin tone, and you want one shade lighter. And I have that. I have Jeffree Star's C18 and C15. And the C18 matches my skin tone. So if I have any imperfections at all, I can put something that matches my skin tone over it. Like I got a tiny little, I don't even know what that is. It looks like a pimple, I guess. And this here will blend right in. See how that works? So if you're going to use something lighter, that's going to stick out even more. We don't want that. Now, the reason we use a lighter concealer is to brighten up and help highlight and contour. And I have been using, because I've been loving it, Kat Von D's Cream Contour palette. And look, this is the only color I use, is that middle one right there. And I dip my beauty blender in it. And all I do is kind of pounce it on my face here until it disappears. Okay. So this area is lighter and brighter. And that's what I want. And now what I want to do is I want to set it. You have to set concealer. You do not always have to set foundation, because sometimes they have a very smooth, powdery finish to it. And a matte foundation and a dewy foundation is something else we need to discuss. So when you go get shade matched, make sure you let them do a dewy one if you have dry skin, and if you have oily skin, we'll go with a matte. And if you have combination skin, I would suggest going with a matte foundation, but a hydrating primer. Now this is a hydrating primer more so than this one. And the reason I use the hydrating primer is because I was dry in those areas, and I used the matte primer here because I'm oily in that area. So now I don't really like to dip this into a setting powder. Some people do that. I don't, because if you put too much powder in one area, you're going to be able to tell. And when you're over 35, you don't want to be doing that anyway, because you definitely don't want it to settle into your eyes. I like to take a somewhat fluffy kind of brush, and I'm going to use the Becca powder today. And I'm just going to kind of dabble it in, and then I'm going to tap it off. And then what I'm going to do is run over this, just like this. And now I've set this eye area to where it should not crease at all. I also used a moisturizing eye cream because that helps as well. I don't want to take any chances now. So that about sums it up for week 1. Foundation. Now we are going to get more in depth with skincare, but there's a few more things I need to get from the store that I'm running out of, and I want to show you my complete skincare routine. So that's going to be in a separate video, but probably included in this series. So really, just to recap, we were deciding whether or not we wanted to keep fuzzies on our face. We were deciding what undertones we were and what type of foundation we're going to try to shade match ourselves in the store. You don't need to buy anything. Just do that. And if you're having trouble with your undertones, you can ask for help. And you can also, like I said, go with the silver and the gold and see if that helps you. Plus your veins, okay? If you have more of a bluish purple, okay, you're looking at a cool kind of undertone. If you have more of a greenish kind of vein, you're looking at more of a warm undertone. And let me know in the comments below if you have done that. I would appreciate all of the feedback. that you can give me regarding this video. Did you learn anything new? Is there something you would have added to it? Because I really just wanted to quickly get out how I figured out what shade works with my skin and how I kind of prep my skin in advance, of course. And I do remove the fuzzies before I apply foundation. And this is my foundation before I do anything else. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to continue and get into color with me, then watch another video. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.
And see